Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning into another episode of the BeatCurry Podcast, a one of its kind music podcast that presents to you all some of the most unique, exquisite, and versatile forms and flavors of music from around the world. Hey, this is Yashwarrier, and joining me on this week's episode is a virtuoso musician from Ukraine, Maria Viksnina, who plays this extremely amazing instrument that's called the Torban. Let me begin sharing with you about this instrument. The Torban is a long-necked Ukrainian string instrument that belongs to the lute family of instruments. This 25 to 60 stringed instrument, the Torban has both fretted treble strings for the melody or harmony and also has unfretted bass strings as extensions, as you can see. The Torban was a widespread instrument during the 17th and the 18th century in parts of Europe, and today it is believed to be an extremely limited instrument in today's time. Maria happens to be the only classical Torbanist in the whole world, and she aspires to bring Torban into modern music and share more about this instrument with students, children, and music lovers from around the world. So, join me on this episode as I explore more about this very beautiful instrument, understand its uniqueness, how it's crafted, and a lot more stuff for you guys. So, make sure you check out the entire episode. Presenting to you all Maria Viksnina on the BeatCurry Podcast. Stay tuned, sit back, and enjoy this beautiful conversation.
Greetings to everyone, and I'm happy to see you all. It's Torban, and I'm Maria Viksnina. I am from Ukraine.
How have you been musically making use of this time? How are things going for you as an artist?
Now in Ukraine with the pandemic, it's not very easy because many concerts are closed. We can't meeting with people, but also in autumn it will be start again. And I will be again played for people, music with Torban. I like Europe, and I played in Ukraine, and Poland, and Germany, and I can conversation with many people. And I play in concert hall or going just in the street, on the street, and play for people, common people, and tell them about the Torban or my music.
Right. So when people are watching you play the Torban, what's the kind of reaction that you get? Because I'm sure Torban is such an exclusive and it's such a such a delicate and such a beautiful instrument. What do people say when they see you?
First in Ukraine they said, what is it? It's bandura or something like this, because maybe 10 years ago nobody know about this instrument, and also now I am one classical musician who play Torban. But today, when I come to the street and play just in Kiev, sometimes little children come and tell their their parents that, oh look, it's Torban, and it's a very happy moment for me and my family, because it's seems that we can do something for this instrument and his history. My father also is luthier, and he made for me this instrument.
For the people who are watching this video, I'm sure you would be fascinated about such musical instruments, and you might be thinking, how did I get to know about such instruments? Where did you read about it? So, Maria, tell us about what exactly is the Torban? What makes it such a unique instrument in today's time? How is it constructed? Tell us about its features, its specialities, everything about it.
It's like a baroque lute, but we can see this is little string on the body, and it's a different and also tuning. And we have a double string, but first four is single, and another in octave or something like that, like a baroque lute. But also it's have a more power tension, that we have really great bass or sound, and it's really interesting. And also this little string we have used like a harmony or like a second melody.
Tell me what essentially, is the music of Ukraine? What's the sound that exists? What's the music that you listen in your surroundings? Be it folk music or Middle Eastern sounds or songs based on rituals. What exactly is the genre that you see around in Ukraine?
In Ukraine, people very like a traditional folk music, but now I am go a little bit deeper, and I can see forgotten lute tablature, Renaissance tablature from one city in Ukraine. Now I work with this manuscript, and it will be interesting in the future to show you how it sounds. But first I played also folk songs and something like this. Also it's very interesting, many music is forgotten and we must revive it and found it from something document in museum or something like this, because for example, Bach wrote for the Ukrainian Torbanist Timofey Belogradsky, but we can't now found exactly document where they will be write that this piece was for Torban, because it was all like a secret, because Ukrainian culture is very not clear. It's was many people from another country that want that our country and our culture was forgotten, but we try to do opposite.
Yes, absolutely. Even I was reading up about the music of Ukraine, and I read about how musicians from Ukraine go and perform in Russia, and there's a lot of music that comes from Russia and Ukraine. There's a lot of influence from Russia. What's the kind of songs that you play which has a Russian touch in it?
Yeah, our country is very close, and Ukraine and Russia, it's similar and different in one time, and many instruments from Ukraine come to the Russia, and also this instrument was in Russia sometime. Many musicians from Ukraine that was good known and famous take from Ukraine to the Russia, and now we can listen in Wikipedia that it was Russian musician, but they born and lived in the Ukraine.
Right, right. Also, I was absolutely shocked to know that, you as a Ukraine artist who plays the Torban, you have collaborated with an Indian artist. How was that like? And what's the music that you played? And how was the entire performance like?
I was studying in Kiev University of Culture and Art, and in my university is very many collaboration with another musician. And one day to us come Indian musician Jordan Koe, and he made for us par lessons and told about Indian music, rhythms, Latin tones, and we have many questions for it. And then he told us that he will be playing music in Kiev in the evening, one concert, and he say, who want to play with me? Come together and we will be play together Indian music. We have a little preparation for it and play, and then we made this.
Oh wow, that's such a lovely story. Wow. Uh, you know, could you play a few lines for us? Could you play some melodies for us?
Ой, чи так низько
That's absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is something that you had shared with me, and I'm sure people would also be wanting to know about it. You had shared with me that when you started out as a musician, there weren't many contemporary artists. So, tell me about this. What was that phase like when you started learning the Torban and, you were trying to find out sheet musics and scores from different music archives and, trying to get introduced to so many musicians who play the Torban? What was that initial phase like?
For Torban, we have now only one book with that we exactly really know that it's for Torban. It's a book with Ukrainian song and music. And it was written by Tomasz Padora. It's Ukrainian and Polish musician and Torbanist. And we start with this. My father made for me some exercise for my hand. We try to find how it must sound, mix it, some school from lute school, bandura school with this hand, some citra school, because the first Torban was played from Austrian musician, and they played it, take instrument on the legs and play to hand a bow, the string like the zither, and that we come to this classical school like a mix with a lute and exactly Torban music. And then we made a video on YouTube, and my father made it and sent in the internet, and then some people from abroad, music luthier and lutenist, write to us and start to write something like you must set made like this, or the hand must be not like a exactly guitar hand and something like a lute hand. And we start to conversation and try to find really Torban's way for made in music.
Do you also see a change in how the Torban studies are being carried forward in music colleges or people who are teaching the Torban? What is that scene like? Tell me something about the music universities or colleges that are there in Ukraine that teach Torban.
Now in Ukraine we can study Torban music, and also when I studied my university I was the one who played Torban, and also I must play a bandura. It's another music instrument from Ukraine, because we haven't exactly this direction with the Torban music. And when my father first made Torban, he come to another musician and say, please try it, how it sounds, it's very interesting, because we never do it and we don't know how it must be. But they say that they are afraid it's not so easy and they don't want to try. And from the time I start to make it with my father, we must start teaching Torban from little children. We must start with a music school or something like this. We must make some book with lesson and teach a little children because they are very happy to something new and they want to do it.
Right, absolutely. So, tell us something about what are you currently working on? What are your plans when it comes to taking the Torban forward as a musician?
This year I finished my studying in Ukrainian university and I am bachelor. And from this year I want to come to the Europe. I want to study in Berlin University of Culture and Arts. and I will be study with Professor Sam Chapman, and he told you must take Torban with you because it's very interesting. We must make it not only with a lute or baroque guitar, but also with your general instrument, because it's really interesting. And I will be study alt music. Renaissance, Baroque, and a little bit more deeper, like medieval. And I want to bring this new things that I will be know to my instrument, and for a better understanding this instrument.
Oh, wow, that's absolutely beautiful. On a brilliant note, thank you so much for taking out your time for this interview. I had an absolute pleasure of interacting with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for so nice conversation.
Wow, thank you so much for playing that.
Thank
Wow, that
you.
was absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much, Maria, for sharing your music with us and having such a musically enriching conversation. I hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see more such videos, make sure you subscribe to BeatCurry. Stay tuned, and I'll see you next time.